Hey, how's it going? I'm just gathering up some dry tinder here. Gonna make me a little fire. It's kind of a get to know me session. I want to say, first off, hey to all my new friends at Tom's Real Life Survival School. And the question was brought up where I got my name on YouTube. Really Big Monkey. Well, it's kind of a long story, and I reckon if you've got time to listen, then I've got time to tell it. Let me get started on this fire here. Long time ago, see if you can see me right there. Alright. Long time ago, a friend of mine that I worked with, he wanted to go camping. So he contacted another friend of his that he knew was into hiking and backpacking and all that kind of good stuff. So he hooked him up with some guy that was into it, did it all the time, and he said he had these buddies that he went with that were they were really good at it, and they enjoyed it. They went often. They really loved it. So these old guys, they went very often, and you know, this was back before what you supposedly called survival camping. It was back before survival camping was made real popular. And actually back then, I think this was in the 80s. I'm not really that old, but I'm old enough. So anyway, it used to be called survival camping, and no, it used to be called minimalist camping. See, I can't hardly talk and think at the same time. So anyway, we went on a lot of backpacking trips, and when they went, they didn't bring much stuff with them. And the fact that they didn't bring much stuff with them was it was pretty appealing to me. You know, it was kind of neat. So we went to a place one time that was called the Hiwassee River, and we had to cross over this area. It was a big gorge, and this big gorge, the only way to get around it was to either climb down into the gorge. It was a runoff from a lake. So anyway, the only way to get across this was pretty much to go around the lake or go down in the gorge, and it was really dangerous. So my friend Hank that I used to work with, he got the bright idea to hold on, let me light this. I like to light it from the underside so that all this stuff right here will catch on. Just a big old wad of tinder. Anyway, Hank had some rope with him. Of course, I had rope too. So anyway, we both had rope with us. Let me try it again. We both had rope with us, and they kept wondering how they was going to get across. Trying to get in there with them leaves. There they go. There you go. Got that wad of leaves right inside there now. So anyway, we was going to cross this gorge, and as we were going to cross this gorge, we didn't know how to do it. So Hank got the idea, and he was always trying to outdo everybody. And so Hank took his rope and he threw it out there over a tree limb, and it landed, looped over. He grabbed it, he swung around on it, and he swung across to the other side. And one at a time, everybody followed. And you know, there was a couple of guys that I really respect, and their name was Flathead and Big Nose. Everybody had nicknames back then, and I don't know what the deal was. I guess if you went along with those guys, then you had to have a nickname. So basically, and Flathead and Big Nose, they was pretty smart guys. But Flathead and Big Nose, they were watching, and this whole time I didn't like being outdone by Hank. So I was going to try to outdo Hank. So this whole time, as this group was swinging with their backpacks on this rope across this big gorge to the other side, I was studying the branches up ahead. And as I was studying the branches, smoke's in my eyes. So as I was studying these branches, I noticed how they crossed the gorge. And so not to be outdone, I was the last one. And you know, I took it amongst myself to I got my grill right here. I took it amongst myself to try to outdo him. So what I did is I took the I took my rope and I threw it up in a tree limb, looped it over, climbed up into the tree, pulled the rope back up, coiled it up, climbed across the branch, and went to the other side. And you know, basically, Flathead and Big Nose, when they seen what Hank had done, they said, "Man, he is a big monkey, nothing but a big monkey." And it's funny, after I climbed over the creek on those two adjoining branches, I remember Big Nose told Flathead, he said, you know, he said, if he's a big monkey, he's a really big monkey. That's, you know, that's basically how that came about. But anyway, let's get back here to my fire. And you know, it's a funny thing, Flathead and Big Nose, those guys, they never claimed to be any kind of a teacher of any kind. But you know, it was amazing. I got the utmost respect for those two guys. They might not have thought of themselves as teachers, but they were. They absolutely were teachers. And they didn't even know they were, because what they did is Flathead and Big Nose, you could just watch their actions and learn from them. You watched what they did, you studied their movements, and you watched what was attached to their belt. You watched what they carried on their back. When they got their cook set out, you watched them. I watched them when they gathered tinder. I watched them when they made their fire. Everything they did, I watched. It was pretty amazing. I had a lot of respect for those two guys, and I learned by just watching them and being around them. And both those guys are passed on. But you know, every time I'm out in the woods doing my thing, I think about them two old guys, and a lot of times when I'm in a situation, I think about what they would have done or wouldn't have done. And you know, they had a big influence on me. And because, you know, before I'd met them, I wasn't much into the outdoors. But you know, the idea of going with very, very minimal gear and making do with what you have, it became a kind of an obsession with me. And but anyway, I just kind of wanted to pay homage to them guys, and that's where I thought, you know what, I seen all the different names on YouTube, you know, survival this, survivor that, you know, and I was just like, you know, I don't know what would be perfect, you know, there's so many names. So it's Really Big Monkey 1 stuck. And I hope you guys enjoy my videos, and as soon as this stuff here heats up, I think I'm gonna enjoy some beans and some coffee. I got me some coffee here in a coin envelope. I always carry that instead of a plastic bag because, you know, a little envelope, that may be my dry tinder one day. All right, well, I got a little room here. I'm gonna run over to that creek before it gets dark, see if I can't get me a fish. I think I got my fishing kit in here somewhere. I'll catch you on the next video.